So, good evening, you wonderful people. It is, of course, it's 9 p.m. Well, it's just gone 9 p.m. here in the UK. It is Monday, the 17th of October. We're well into the final quarter of 2022 now. But I was just saying before this kind of started properly to some people who are watching live on Facebook, big shout out to you guys, that if the first 3 quarters of 2022 haven't quite gone your way, maybe you haven't got that agent you wanted, maybe you haven't got that TV job you wanted, maybe just things have not really gone to plan. It's all right, because you've got a quarter of the year left. This is the time. This is my favourite time of year, bar the weather and the fact that there's no daylight, as Nat was just saying there. This is my favourite time of year because what I find happens to most actors, they just give up. All your competition that have been hustling hard, at least in the first 2 quarters before they went on holiday in the summer and then never really got back into the swing of things, they're all about to give up. Honestly, those people who are not resilient, who have no tenacity, who just, allow this industry to beat them down, and there's nothing against those people because this industry is hard, right? It is just difficult. But the people who have the most mental resilience are the people who basically get the success in this industry. And so many of your colleagues in this industry are just about to quit, and they're all about to go, oh, you know what? I'm going to get that agent in January. I promise you, it's the worst time of the year to try and get an agent in January because everybody thinks that an agent's books, and that doesn't even exist anymore. An agent's books are only open in January. That's nonsense. A good agent's books are never closed to the right client. But a lot of people will be using, sort of justifying, in some kind of practical way to themselves why they should put something off, when really they're just either unmotivated to do it, uninspired to do it, too lazy to be brutal, or are just allowing fear to stop them from actually taking the action that's required to actually get anywhere in this industry. So I'm going to play some videos out tonight that talk about that. And let me know what you think in the comments there about winning, like in the final quarter. Maybe you have made a comeback in your career when you thought everything was going wrong, and actually one email, one phone call, something has changed the cards for you, changed the the odds might have been against you, but they've completely changed the game, and you've made a massive comeback and you've won the year. I've had that happen to me loads of times, both in business and in the acting industry. I'm just going to go over to actonthis.tv. For those people here for the first time, I hope you've heard of this website, but maybe you haven't. This is a website I've run now for 12 years. Basically, every single week, I sit down with literally the biggest names in TV, whether that's casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, directors, and I host a private Zoom session for members of this website. If you are a member, you get access to these Zoom calls every single week, and we are talking the biggest names in the game. This week, we had the writer of BBC's The Responder, Mr. Tony Schumacher, on. Week before that, we had Brad Johnson. You'll know him as Vinnie Dingle from Emmerdale. Top TV casting directors, directors. We had Roland Beckley on recently. We had Matt Holt on recently. Roland is the casting director for Casualty. George Bakari, who's an actor you'll know from Ridley, the recent Adrian Dunbar drama. Nicholas Schindler, 7 times BAFTA-winning producer. I mean, we literally just have the biggest names in the industry on here, and they all tell us ultimately how to have more success in this industry. Okay, I sent an email out this morning, and let me know, right, because it might have upset some people. I know it upset one person. There's over 20,000 actors on my email list, but I did get a pretty nasty reply from somebody. And I get it, right? I wanted to be a little bit, not controversial, but I wanted to sort of like push on people's pain points this morning. The subject line of the email, and let me know if this does sound harsh to you, I just thought at least it would get people to open it and see what I was talking about. It said, hey, and it might have said like, George, whatever your name is, other actors are mugging you off. And I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but what my point was is all the members of an Act on This, okay, are basically every single week getting in front of casting directors on actonthis.tv, directors, writers, producers, and are getting coached on literally how to get in the room with that casting director. It's so simple. You literally sit on Zoom and that casting director will tell you exactly what you have to do to get in the room with them for an audition or get a self-tape. And you'll get people who are not getting involved in this community or getting this information, and they might have gone and spent £50,000 on a degree at drama school, and yet they're still not having the success that people in our community who are paying £6 a week are getting. So in my opinion, it does sound brutal, but they are being made to look a little bit daft because they think, okay, I've been to a big drama school and or maybe I'm on Spotlight, I've got my agent, I don't need to do anything. actually, like, the people who, again, it comes down to hard work, who are hustling, who are basically doing that extra legwork, and you don't have to do much to rise above everyone else, because most people are notoriously not doing enough. And I think, you can come into this industry, and this is what annoys people so much, with just a can-do attitude, a really positive attitude, hard-working attitude, go to some, decent weekly screen acting classes, forget spending 50 grand on drama school, and actually get much further in this industry and earn much more money than those other people who spent that money. And, I went to drama school, I'm not slagging it off, I went, at the time, I went to one of the top 5 drama schools in the UK. It still didn't prepare me for the TV industry, not at all, and I'll say that on the record. So I sent this email out this morning to people saying, basically, listen, get involved, giving them a 7-day trial to actonthis.tv for £1. And you can get that now. If you're not a member, actonthis.tv/trial. You can see it on your screen now. Go there. It will give you 60 minutes to get a £1 trial. You can then spend 7 days kicking the tires on this industry, on this community, for £1. Literally, you get unrestricted access to everything. So you will get access to that session that we just held with Tony Schumacher. Anyone here writing their own project, by the way? Is anyone looking to get a TV script developed? Have you had an idea in your head for 10 years? Have you never acted on it? Have you maybe written one episode of it? Maybe you've got a whole series and it's sat in your locker, sat on your hard drive somewhere, and you've never known how to get it commissioned, how to get your program basically in front of people who can put it on the TV. Let me know if that is you in the chat. And if it is, you're really going to go and watch the replay of this session we held with Tony Schumacher, the writer of The Responder, starring Martin Freeman. Let me play you a little mashup of what you missed last week. This is a 2-hour chat. It's in the members area for those people who haven't seen it yet on actonthis.tv if you weren't there live. I promise you, one of the most inspiring chats I have ever had. And those members who are here, who might have been here a long time, let me know what you thought of it, because I bet you think it's one of the most inspiring chats. Honestly, it's got to be in the top five sessions I've held in the last 12 years. And I've done over 450. So here's a little bit of what you missed. Check it out. Awesome story, by the way, behind how Tony got to where he is now. He's an all-round top bloke and writer of the formidable BBC drama The Responder, starring Martin Freeman. It's Tony Schumacher in the house. Tony, it took us about 2 years to get you here, mate. How are you doing?
I'm either writing, reading, changing nappies, or walking a big dog.
What everybody's kind of here for, obviously, is the road to The Responder, the road to kind of like how this came about.
I can't remember the last time I did something good.
I applied for 2 jobs the week I got home, just because I knew I was getting married and I needed money. And one was managing a place that sold underground drainage. Okay. And the other one was the police. I loved it, I absolutely loved it, but I did it for too long, personally. It burnt me out. Had I not done that job and burnt out the way I did, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. I had not left, which meant I had nothing to lose. I decided that I'd have a go at script writing. It was my wife who said to me, why don't you write something for telly? I didn't even know how to lay it out. I just did it in Word. That's how thick I was. Like, I wrote it, I just put like, I think I called Scally or something like that. And I just put Scally walking down the street, black tracksuits, baseball cap, skinny as fuck. They said to me, well, what do you want to do with it? What's your next step? And I said, well, give it to Martin Freeman. I've wrote it for Martin. And they said, well, you should, yeah, give it to Martin. And then it was like 4 days later, I got a phone call off Martin's agent and said, do you want to go for a coffee with Martin Freeman? Like, no, of course I don't. He is literally about 5 minutes ago. I don't know, I've got all kinds of weird issues here with on my WhatsApp there, can we see it? Martin has sent me a message there about 5 minutes ago, and that'll be about season 2. Unless you do it, it isn't going to happen. And also, even if it doesn't happen, I absolutely 100%, this is the one guarantee I will give you, is you will feel better for having done it.
actonthis.tv if you want to get access to the full chat there with Tony. Like he said, I couldn't believe it. We were literally live on Thursday night. Everyone, all the members of Act On This were tuning in. and he got a text from Martin Freeman about the Responder season 2 whilst he was telling us the whole story of how he got season 1 commissioned. Honestly, if you are writing something right now, you want to create your own work as an actor, maybe you want to do a Ricky Gervais and like star in your own thing, direct your own thing, and you have no idea how to get it in front of production companies to get it commissioned, the story that Tony tells takes you through step by step how he did it. And it's absolutely incredible because, you know, like a lot of people just would not have had the tenacity, like I spoke about before, to put the work in. You know, after the first no they get, or the first 5 no's they get from production companies, they'd be like, nah, sack it. Tony basically just did not accept no for an answer. And if you want to get anywhere in this industry, whether that's acting, writing, directing, whatever, you really cannot, you know, just accept no for an answer. You work on your craft, you get yourself educated, and you go out and ask for what it is you want. That's what this community Acts on This.tv is all about. It's ultimately giving actors sort of the inside track and the confidence and almost like a cheat code to how to go out there and actually get what you want. Francesca says she's got the tag on Facebook. Thank you, Francesca. Thanks for being here. Amanda says just joined. So you've just joined Acts on This. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I remember. And he says thanks for the notification. You said just join. It's bloody awesome, I think. Sarah said follow the advice from Acts on This. And it worked to get a new agent, so thank you. Bloody love hearing that. We get incredible agents on ActsOnThis.tv. If you're looking for an agent, there's probably 25 sessions in the members area with the biggest agents in the UK, from boutique agencies right up to the massive, massive top London agents, exactly walking you through ultimately how you sign with them. Like, again, it's just invaluable information you don't really get anywhere else. So yeah, Amanda says, just joined as a member. It's bloody awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Talking about winning in the fourth quarter, you know, I said before, like, you know, we're in the fourth quarter of 2022 now, and you might be feeling well behind in your acting career. And I'm saying, listen, you can still win in the fourth quarter. A lot of teams come back in the fourth quarter. Tony said there, last year at this time, I left Chicago to visit family in Boston. When I came back, got my first 3 TV auditions. You really never know what can happen in the fourth quarter. Tony, I love it, man. You don't know what can happen in the fourth quarter. And that's a beautiful thing about this industry. So many actors, when they come out on This.tv and they have, you know, a lot of success now, they tell us about literally the moments just before they had that success where they were going to walk away. So many actors get to that point where they're like, I just cannot do this anymore. How long can I do this for? And it really is about just getting up and doing it again. And I know it's freaking hard because I experienced it myself in my own career. I've had 6. I've been on the verge of getting 6 really good jobs this year. I didn't get any of them. Literally get recalled, never get the job. It's like you've just got to get up and keep going again. Get up and keep going again. So yeah, tenacity is key. So yeah, I'm going to play out another clip from Tony in a minute, which is just about really sort of working hard and, you know, just the fact that there is no luck in this industry. It might seem to you that people get lucky, and you know what? Maybe 1 in a million does, where they literally, it feels like they put no effort in, and someone around them has given them a lucky break, and they ended up just getting, you know, just lightning struck for them. But I promise you, like the overwhelming common denominator between everyone in my circle who I personally know who have done really well in this industry have literally bled out of their eyes for it. You know, getting up time and time again, getting knocked down, getting knocked down 10 times, getting up an 11th. So you have to develop that, you know, that mental toughness. One thing that I'm going to do at the end of this month, you might have seen me do this last month, but I've had loads of emails since requesting to do this again, and it is completely free. I'd love people to get involved in this if you are struggling with getting up again. Basically, if your mental resilience is not maybe where you want it to be, maybe you're struggling with self-confidence, you're struggling with procrastination, you know, you're always feeling busy but you're never feeling productive, you're dealing with anxiety in and out of your acting career. I have been running a program for years now called Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, and I've teamed up to bring a brand new version of this to the industry this November with a high-performance mindset coach, a friend of mine called Matt Hall. But we ran a free training at the start of October. It was a 90-minute training, basically helping people with strategies around self-confidence, particularly procrastination and anxiety. And we had about 350 actors turn up for this at the start of this month. But a lot of actors in our community couldn't make it for whatever reason. And we don't normally record these sessions or anything like that because I like it to be live, and I like people to be there live and experience that live training, because it makes people take action. If they've committed to being there on a Saturday morning, then I know they're action takers. But we are going to run it one last time. This will be literally the last time we ever do this, by the way. And this is going to happen on Saturday, October the 29th at 10 a.m. If you want to get a free place, again, there's only going to be 500 places for free on this. That's all my Zoom account can handle. I've actually sent this to a couple of other people who run acting communities this time as well. So those places are definitely going to go, because they've got email lists of 20,000. But I want to give you guys who are here now a heads up to go and get this now. It's a free, it's the same training we ran on the Saturday at the start of this month. But if you go to actonthis.tv/mindset and just fill this this form in here with your name and email address, it will send you automatically your Zoom link like now. Keep that Zoom link safe, and that's what's going to get you access to the free training on October the 29th, 10 a.m. to 11:30 UK time. If you were there on the first training on earlier this month, it is the same training. Just to give you a heads up, it will literally be exactly the same. But I just know there was loads of people who couldn't make it, and I've had about a dozen emails since saying, "Will you run it again? Will you run it again?" and some tweets and DMs. So I'm going to run it again. So actonthis.tv/mindset, actonthis.tv/mindset, MINDSET. Basically, get yourself over there, fill that form in, and you'll get your Zoom link straight away. So if you're watching on the replay, let me know if you're going to be there as well. I can see people are filling it in already. I can see, who's that? Let me just give you a shout out. Who's just filled it in? Shout out to Anne Reese. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, I've literally just put that page up tonight again. So if you go there now, you'll definitely get a place. But every time it sort of gets oversubscribed, and people end up not being able to get on it or getting locked out from Zoom and stuff like that. So don't delay. But it's a really valuable training if you really want to get on top of your mindset. And we also are going to be running an incredible event in November that we'll tell you all about at the end of that training as well. I know there's over, I think, 85 actors in the community who are going to join us on that big event in November so far. We've got about 100 places, so maybe 15, 20 more places available on that. But we can tell you all about that on that free training, or if you go to bulletproofactor.com, you can read about that there as well, bulletproofactor.com. Right, let's dive into some comments before I just play in this next clip from Tony. Maya says, hang on in there, keep hustling, you'll get there. I completely agree with that, Maya. I think, again, those people who just stay the course really do, reap the rewards eventually. It's just patience, isn't it? It really is. It really is. There's something... I'm trying to think what the technical term is in positive psychology. It's ultimately sort of like a lag in results between you putting the work in and then getting the result. And a lot of actors want to see, and just people in general want to see instant results, not realizing that everything they do today, if it's a positive and decent decision, will pay dividends down the line. And that might be 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. But there is, when you look at businesses that are growing in the first few years, there really is a lag between the effort they're putting in and the results they're getting. And then they hit a tipping point where almost their results go from being flat and just quite consistent, not much happening, to almost sort of like a vertical, like just a line that just literally goes straight up. And it's the same for so many actors, where you'll put in work, get self-tapes out of it, not land the roles, more self-tapes, not land the roles. Boom, you get one that changes the game for you, changes your life, and boom, up you go, and then it's never the same for you again. You ultimately break through that ceiling that was... there's not really a glass ceiling on you unless there's one you put on yourself. But you know what I mean? You break through whatever block was in your way. So keep doing the work. David says Tony was gold in the top 3 that's appeared on Acts on This. Well, let me play another clip out from Tony, and this is about hard work. This is a guy, by the way, who was in the police, who had ultimately a nervous breakdown, lost everything, lost his marriage, lost his house, lost everything, ended up homeless, living in his car, and then from living in his car, realised he's got nothing to lose and thought, fuck this, I am going to be a writer. This is what I've always wanted to do since being a kid. And now he's just written, in my opinion, what's probably one of the best dramas of the last decade, that he will win a BAFTA for. He will win a BAFTA or multiple BAFTAs. That show will win at the next awards, I promise you. But here's a clip on just the value of hard work. Like, if you are waiting for something lucky to happen, or you are waiting to be discovered, it's not going to happen, guys. put the work in. It's the only thing you can control. But this, hopefully, will inspire you to do that. What advice would you have for people for just literally just suffocating their own bullshit?
Procrastination, we all do it, you know. I mean, listen, I got to the office today and I sat in a cafe for like half an hour. Like, but the thing about writing is, or writing an email, or getting an audition, or writing some music is, it isn't gonna fucking happen unless you do it. When I was driving that taxi, if I hadn't sat down that night and wrote my first column for that magazine, I wouldn't be sitting here. And it would have been easy to just sit there, you know, with a bottle of water and a sandwich, just thinking, oh, I could write that one day, I'll do that one day. You've literally got to say, if I want to succeed in this industry, I've got to fail, and I've got to lay myself out there and just be prepared to be flayed alive. It's just simple things like, you know, like people say to me, oh, I'd love to write, but I haven't got time. I used to get in the cab overnight at 5 o'clock in the evening, and I'd go out and I'd drive that taxi till 5 o'clock in the morning. I would get home, I would go to sleep till about 11, 12 o'clock, get up, walk the dog 5 miles, and then go back and write for 3 hours every single day. And that's how I got my first book published. And that's what you've got to do, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You will not get lucky. That's the only way to do it. And if you fail, you've just got to get up and do it again. You've just got to keep getting up and doing it again, because the people who succeed are the ones who keep getting up and doing it again. There's one common thing that runs through everyone who I've worked with who's been super successful, and that is they work harder than anyone else I know. Martin knows every line of every script, and there was a thing that I noticed watching Martin on set was that he could remind other actors of their lines if they failed.
Right, no way.
And I never once heard him calling for a script. I never once heard him say, can I have a script? Could someone give me a script? He knew every line. We all want to be something, but it's the ones who are obsessed with it who do it.
It's just such a bloody amazing chat. Honestly, you've literally just seen like 2 minutes of what is a 90-minute chat where Tony takes us through his entire story. Honestly, one of the most inspiring conversations I just think I've ever had. And so many actors came away from that session. I got more tweets really than I normally get from these weekly sessions on Acts on This. And everyone was like, listen, you know, I've had this idea in my head of writing something, or, you know, I'm finally inspired now to put pen to paper, or, you know, actually start typing up this idea for a script, making my own short film, whatever it would be. I just think so many actors have got stories to tell, and they're so disempowered by having to wait for, you know, someone else, another writer, to just happen to write a story that happens to have a character in it that's just like them or fits their casting type, and then, you know, that script just happens to get commissioned by the BBC, and then the casting director just happens to maybe know you exist and send you, you know, or your agent a request to do a self-tape, and then you're up against 50 other people, and then you might just get a recall, and then after all of it, you might do a screen test and still not get the job. So if if you're happy to do that and basically go through that time and time and time again, and that's what destroys most actors mentally, then that's great, do that. But in my opinion, and from my experience, those people who are really making headway are those people who are basically taking back control and going, I'm going to write my own thing. It might only be a 5-minute short film, a 10-minute short film, but you can literally completely change your life by doing that. I always use her as a example, but a friend of mine, Rachel Shenton, you've heard me say it loads of times, you know, was in a situation where she was like, look, I'm just not getting any work. I'm just, you know, no one wants to see me. I'm not getting any auditions. And she went, I'm going to write my own thing. And it's just for creative pleasure, effectively. I don't know what's happening with it, but I'm just going to write this script. She wrote it. Long story short, 2 years later, she won an Oscar for it. It was just a short film, a 20-minute short film. Changed her life. I mean, now she's starring in All Creatures Great and Small. She's just done a film out in Europe. She's just landed the lead role, I believe, in I don't know what channel, but a brand new drama. Like, it can happen. If, like Tony says there, you put the freaking work in, or you can sit there whinging about how it is, you know, saying, oh, the industry's all corrupt and I don't know anybody, and, you know, that person only got that role because they knew him, and blah, blah, blah. The usual stuff that actors tell themselves. You know, and then you just be miserable. Or you can actually go, you know what, I can actually still be happy while creating my own work. And I don't know where it's going to take me, but it's going to take me further than I probably am now. So watch that session with Tony. I promise you, if you've ever had an inkling of just wanting to write something, it will make you do it. It's made me do it. You know, I've had a script that I've written and I've sat on for a year. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to actually put my money where my mouth is and get this looked at by people and see what I can do with it. Marie says, hi, I'm listening. She says, I would love this. What are you talking about, Marie? You talking about the Bulletproof Actor stuff, or you're talking about the session with Tony? If you want to join that free training, actonthis.tv/mindset. You can go to bulletproofactor.com to check out the full big event that we're doing in November. And Caroline says, I'm so excited. I signed up for the Bulletproof Actor training yesterday. Nice one. Well, that's amazing. Do you mean the one in November? It'll be wicked to have you there. Honestly, it's gonna change the game for people. Like, that event, honestly, will just be amazing. It's going to be 2 massive full days on Zoom with me and world record breaker and high performance mindset coach, Mr. Matt Hall. And yeah, we're going to take you through 8 modules, basically changing everything about your psychology. If you are getting in your own way and you are allowing procrastination to stop you making moves, you are, allowing a lack of confidence or limiting beliefs to stop you actually taking action on what it is that you want, or you're dealing with anxiety, you don't really know where your motivation's gone. You might just literally feel very lackluster right now because the industry smashed you in the face so many times. You're like, I just don't really have the passion for it anymore. We're going to completely change the game for you. And then you'll also get 30 days after that as well in a private Facebook group and a secret WhatsApp group with Matt. He will be coaching people, regularly within those groups. And that coaching finishes on Christmas Eve. So you're going to go into Christmas feeling so freaking ready for 2023 to have your best year ever. It's the best version of this program I'll ever put out. I don't think we'll ever do it this way again or teach it live again. But I'm very excited to have people on board. If you're asking where it is, do you mean if you're asking about that weekend, Amanda? It's just on Zoom. Very, very simple. You literally, and everyone gets the recording of it as well. If you can't make a day, because it's across the weekend, 26th and 27th of November. If you can only make the Saturday, you can only make the Sunday. You're going to get the full recording for life. So you're going to get access to it forever. You don't have to worry about that. Michelle says, I agree regarding luck. I've been told I had my lucky break. No, you didn't, Michelle. No, you freaking didn't. You'll be told you had your lucky break by people who don't know the work that you put in over the last 2 years. Yeah, you said here, I disagree. It's all to do with how you deal with chance meetings, your intuition and resilience, and making good choices and action in them. Also knowing your USP is key. Michelle, you joined probably every session, or at least caught up on the replay, every weekly session we held with casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers. I know you watched and triple watched that session we did with Simone Pereira Hind, who ended up casting the show that you ended up with a regular in. There's nothing lucky. People can put that luck shit back in their pocket when they say, oh, you were lucky. No, you weren't. There was no luck involved with it whatsoever. You made it yourself. Literally, you made it yourself. Like, yeah, people say that, around some other people I know, or occasionally to me running this community and stuff. They're like, oh, but you're happy doing what you're doing because, you're really lucky. No, I'm not. I spent 12 years building this community, and so many times I've just been like, I cannot do this anymore. It cost me, I was 60 grand down running this community 8 years into it. There was no luck about that whatsoever. That's pretty unlucky. But I just believed in it. I just really believed in going, listen, how can we create online a community of really inspired, empowered, motivated actors who just take action rather than whinging? And how can I get the biggest names in the industry involved in it? And how can I make it as cheap as possible? There is nowhere else in this industry you can go and jump on Zoom calls with the guests that I have for £6 a week. Yeah, well, most of the guests, you can't jump on Zoom calls with them anywhere because they don't do any other things like this. But those who do, you're paying £35 a call. I give you 4 a month for £24 along with loads of other coaching. Let's just go over, by the way, those people who are here and members as well. If you don't know what's coming up on Acts on This, we've got some banging sessions happening between now and Christmas. Here's just the next 3 that I'll show you that are on the schedule. There's one more actually to insert in the schedule. Next week, we've got Downton Abbey casting director Jill Trevellick coming on. Jill is amazing, one of the nicest casting directors in the industry, famed for Downton Abbey, but also has done loads and loads of other massive shows recently, like Sanditon, The Lazarus Project, Stonehouse is a brand new one that that's coming out on ITV, I think, later this year. Jill's amazing. If you really want to get into period drama, she doesn't just cast period drama, but is very known for period drama. Be on this session. Like, again, Jill's an open book. Nothing to hide. We'll tell you everything, how you can get in touch with her, how, what she wants to see from you, how you can land self-tapes with her, get in the room with her, the projects that are coming up, the stuff she's just cast. Just going to be a super, super awesome session. Then on the 1st of November, Julie Hesmondhalgh, one of my favourite actresses in the world, is joining us to talk about life after. I mean, you'll know Julie. She did like 16 years in Coronation Street as Hayley Cropper. You'll know her from Happy Valley, Broadchurch, Doctor Who. She's just written a brilliant book called The Actor's Alphabet. Comes out in November. Going to be talking all about it on that session, and I'm going to be giving away 15 signed copies of Julie's book to people who attend that session live. So again, you want a free copy of the book, you want to throw your hat into the arena to get a copy, be on that session live. That's on the 1st of November. It's going to be a signed copy from Julie. I'm giving 15 away. Then we've got BAFTA-winning casting director Aisha Bywaters on Tuesday the 15th of November. She won a BAFTA recently for it's Channel 4's We Are Lady Parts. Amazing, really, really funny comedy that she spoke to us about the last time she was on ActsOnThis.tv. So it's amazing to go, right, that was a show you were really passionate about. You didn't know it was going to go on to do such big things, but she ended up winning a BAFTA for casting that show. So they're just the next 3 sessions. I'm also dropping a podcast exclusively for members of ActsOnThis.tv tomorrow morning. I'm going to play out a little trailer of that for you in a minute. So I'll put that out as well so you guys know what's coming up. But there's never been literally a better time to be part of this community, guys. And, we've got some incredible people on the way to Christmas as well. Phil Barantini's going to be back, an incredible actor-director. He directed Stephen Graham in Boiling Point. He's got some very exciting news to tell us on that podcast that I can't tell you anything about just yet, but that's going to be out in November as well. There's just so much stuff happening between now and Christmas. Trio says, love Julie, what a talent. Isn't she amazing? She's so just bloody kind and nice, but is such an incredible actress and just seems to do everything and be everywhere, whether that's theatre or TV. All sorts of stuff. She's she's just amazing, honestly, and she just helps out so many incredible charities. She does something called 500 acts of kindness, and that's where she wanted to get 500 people together to pay £1 a month or £1 a week, I think it is. Yeah, £1 a week. To raise £500 a week to give to incredible causes, and I think she's got a lot more than 500 people on board now. But every week you get an email from her saying, we've just given £250 to this individual. It's individuals, it's not big charities. It's kind of like, here's a refugee from Ukraine and they had no, fridge in their flat they've been given, so let's buy them a fridge. Stuff like that, really personal stuff. So if you Google 500 acts of kindness, you'll probably find it. And if you've got £1 a week that you don't mind giving away to incredible causes, I'd highly recommend you do that. Caroline says, yes, in November. You've signed up, Caroline, amazing. For the Bulletproof Actor weekend in November. Folks, honestly, go and check out bulletproofactor.com to read all about it. You'll see videos on there as well of past students who have done previous Bulletproof Actor courses that I've put out there. Literally changed people's lives. It's the only high performance positive psychology, science backed as well, program for actors literally on earth. It changed my life. I've just basically cherry picked 14, 15 years worth of personal development that I've been through myself, that's really worked for me, and put this incredible course together for actors. But you get me and high performance coach Matt Hall on this one, 2 for 1. We're both going to be coaching. Let's have a look. What else is going down in the comments? Anything else? I think we've covered most things for now. So let me play you. I'm dropping a podcast for members of ActsOnThis.tv tomorrow. It's dangerous when me and producer Petch get together to record our own podcast. We do something called Table Talk, and that's every quarter. We get together, and Petch, those people who are part of ActsOnThis.tv, you're part of the membership, will know Petch, Lee Petcher. Producer Petch, he's the community manager of ActsOnThis.tv as well, so he's in the Facebook group, he's in the private community over on the main website. That's like a secret little community forum that only members get access to. And across a quarter, he's obviously, having hundreds of conversations a week with actors, looking at their problems, trying to help them, pointing them in the right direction. So features that we've hosted on ActsOnThis.tv with various, casting directors and agents, etc. So he really is like, he's got his finger on the pulse when it comes to the problems that actors are facing within our community. And we sit down. He doesn't tell me what we're going to talk about, which is dangerous. And we sit down once a quarter and we record a really long podcast, a real in-depth podcast. These are like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And we did one on Friday night. This is dropping tomorrow morning for you guys. So let me just play you a little trailer of it. I've left out probably the most controversial parts of this trailer. There's some stuff in it, and I always mean it with love. I really do, but there's some, I get on my soapbox sometimes when I'm like, look, there's some certain things in the industry that I think people need to sort of be aware of and know about and be careful about. Certain things I see actors doing consistently, I don't want to say wrong, but just ineffectively, I guess. And then there's also a load of bullshit in our industry as well that's sold to actors that I promise just like is not valuable. So we try and talk about it all on these podcasts. Here's sort of like some of the tame parts of it. If you dive in at the main thing tomorrow, if you remember, you'll hear some stuff that I hope I don't get cancelled for it, but I just say things as they are. I'm like, listen, I'm just going to say it as it is. Some things in this industry, just sort of, I don't know, need discussing. But here's a little bit of what's happening in it. Petch, welcome back to the kitchen for Table Talk Q4 2022. This is where we basically chew the fat on everything that's been going down in the acting industry over the last quarter. We've not been here since July. A lot's been going down. Let's talk.
This is a subject that we cover quite a lot on Act on This, and it's social media.
Sometimes you will want to have a vocal opinion on something that is polarizing because, let's be honest, not everyone's going to agree with everything that you say. Some people will agree, some people will disagree. You're then afraid of going, oh, well, if I put my actual truth out there, then it might affect my career. If it's really, truly, authentically you, just knowing that every decision you make in your life has consequences and being okay with them.
What I thought I'd conquered with my relationship with money is now just gone right back down to the beginning. What advice would you give someone like me?
I've got so much, because I've been
in this
there.
situation.
The only way to earn more money from the world is to put more value out. The only way you can put more value out is by educating yourself. What I would do if I was an actor comes back to actors having limiting beliefs around going, oh, well, I'm not a business person, I'm a creative. Well, you know what? If you're really creative, come up with something, create it, create a business around it. I'll give you an example of something that I would be doing now.
Manifesting. You're laughing.
Okay, yeah, it's because I know you tried it on Twitter.
back to Twitter. Yeah, I tried this.
This is like, we disguise this as like actors' problem. This is basically just Petch's counselling session.
Well, no, because I see actors do this on Twitter.
You can manifest via action a higher likelihood of putting yourself in situations that will lead to good outcomes. But you can't manifest that outcome.
How do you keep in the game? And, if you want to walk away.
Keep doing it until you genuinely stop enjoying the passage of time. And then you can always take a break. And what will generally happen is you'll rejuvenate and you'll come back stronger. That is dropping tomorrow about 10 a.m. on actonthis.tv for all members. So do check it out. Honestly, I think it is a good chat. You might have to listen to it in a few parts because it's 2 hours and 24 minutes, I think. But yeah, we get really honest in that chat. Like you said, we talk all things there. Actors using social media, being drained by freaking social media. Talk about Twitter. Also talk about it's where like I feel actors on Twitter want to bow down to every person in the industry who they feel has got power, whether that's a casting director, an agent, a director, a writer, a producer. And, we talk really brutally honestly there, because it's almost sort of like I feel a lot of actors feel they can't put out their true authentic selves on social media for fear of repercussions of what could happen to their career. And I'm not talking like, putting stuff out there that's absolutely wrong or anything like that. I'm talking about maybe they have a slightly different political view to a casting director, or Petch, for instance, is a vegan. And he likes to share, not in a preachy way, he likes to share stuff that he thinks is nice and important to educate people around, sort of veganism and, maybe making choices in their diet to, contribute to making the planet better or, less cruelty to animals. And I know I'm an absolute hypocrite because I say I love animals and I love pets and then I will eat a steak. But I'm so happy to listen to other people's opinions and I'm happy to listen to Petch and get educated. And now, for instance, I don't have any dairy in my diet. I don't miss it at all. I prefer like oat milk in my coffees and stuff like that. And when you look at the dairy industry, that can be, it's a pretty brutal industry, to be honest with you. But I'm open to other people's opinions. It's kind of like I feel that what a lot of people do in our industry and just probably in life on Twitter is they put an opinion out, and if anybody disagrees with it, they mute them, they unsubscribe from their email list, or that, you know, anything that you know, basically gets them away from anybody who has a slightly different opinion to theirs. And my opinion on that is actually, you know what, we're stunting our own growth by doing that. If you are going to block every single person on Twitter who doesn't prescribe to your political views, you know, any sort of view of the world or whatever, you're surrounding yourself inevitably then by people who just agree with you. You're saying, I only want to be around people who just agree with my views, and my views right, and I don't want to listen to anybody else. And I just feel we're missing out as humans on massive growth. And this is why the world's in the state that it's in. This is, you look at the wars that are happening around the world, because people, you know, will not sit down and just talk things through and just, you know, just actually listen to each other. And people want to talk on social media and never listen. So we talk about that and the way that actors are scared of putting something out in case a casting director... Petch is like, I can't put anything out about veganism because what if a casting director sees it and he's like, oh, there's another vegan preaching? And I'm like, listen, you need to just, if it's your authentic self, like, stand by your convictions, and like, for everyone you don't please, you'll please someone else. There might be someone there, another casting director, who quietly is in the same boat and is like, oh, I can't talk about what I really think because I'm afraid. And they see, you know, someone actually standing up for what they believe in and go, oh, I actually agree with them. So then they bring you in for that. You know, I mean, I'm not saying people are going to bring you in for your political views. They're going to bring you in if you're a good actor, let's be honest. But you never know. You know, we are all very judgmental whether you like it or not. And you are. If you admit to yourself, you are. If you saw somebody write something that you really don't agree with or whatever, you'd probably be less inclined to want to work with them. And that's another thing. That's completely okay. You know, I talk about in that podcast there very, very honestly about going, you know what, there'll be some casting directors, some directors, writers, agents, producers, people in this industry who you just don't like, and you might not want to work with them, and that's absolutely fine. You don't have to pander to everybody, you know, and lose who you are as a person. Be bland, dilute yourself, and feel like you are not authentically you because you just want a job. There's way more to life than just, you know, placating everyone in the industry because you want to work. Work with the people who you actually want to work with, and you want to be around. You don't have to like everybody, and not everyone will like you. So we talk about all kinds of stuff in that podcast. It's an interesting one, but let me know if you feel that you've ever censored yourself on social media for fear of a repercussion that might affect your career. And I'm not talking like, you know, you've not put something out there that's really controversial or is just wrong. I'm talking about, you know, something that, you know, you just believe in and you feel is right, you know, whether that's who should be the next prime minister. We're only 10 prime ministers away from Christmas, folks. Oh God, politics in the UK. I don't get involved with it. I don't even, you know, profess to understand it. It's just a joke, innit? It's an absolute farce right now. But let me know if you've ever done that and you've been like, oh yeah, you know, I wouldn't put my opinion out there because someone might not agree with it. I just think, like, I love it when people disagree with me, like, because with the world, God, I mean, you'd never get anything done or like evolve as a person if like we were all the same. Like, you know, we have to have people who have different opinions and different views on things and different ideas of how you work problems out, because that's how we get through stuff faster, I guess. But yeah, you know, I don't mind people disagreeing with me, and I'm so happy to be educated on things that will change my mind. Like I say, Petch completely changed my mind on drinking milk, because I was like, oh, hang on a second, let me just like educate me about this and let me see stuff. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, this is pretty, you know, there's some pretty brutal things happening in here. But I also don't feel that anyone else should have to change their, you know, opinion on that because I have. Like, we all should just, like, leave each other alone. Like, it's fine. It's, I think it's really nice to share different opinions and then, you know, maybe you cherry pick bits of everyone's opinion and go, well, that's, you know, that's what I now agree with. Maya says, my husband is a bit worried about my eye surgery as he's scared I'll actually be able to see what he really looks like first thing in the morning. Maya, you're having eye surgery. What's going on there? I've had to have cataracts out with the condition that I've got. It's an interesting one. There's a lot of eye surgery you have whilst you're awake. I had my cataracts done while I was awake. Quite an interesting experience, that, as like the colours and these things you see whilst people are operating on your eyes is crazy. But yeah, I hope that really goes well for you. Lens replacement surgery. So is that an intraocular lens? That's like cataract stuff. I've had that twice. Don't worry about it. You're all good. You'll be fine. You'll be in safe hands. Trio says, I'm very happy to listen to some Tory lovers, but only sometimes. I was saying this on the podcast, Trio, as well. Do you not think, and just hear me out, right? Again, politically, I'm not really aligned to anyone politically, any one party. I mean, I've never been more confused, really, of what's going on in politics than I am at the moment. But I never think it's red or blue. It can't be. The answer cannot be Labour or Conservative or any of the parties. Like, it's not red, it's not blue. It's like purple, isn't it? It's a mixture of the two. Why the hell do we always have to be like, it's my way or the highway? You either agree with me or you starkly disagree with me. I just think life would be so much better if we just sort of like mixed it up and actually went, hang on, you Conservatives have probably got a good point about this and this and this. You Labour lot have got a really good point about this, this and this. How about we just sort of like, make a better party and actually sort of like make the country better rather than just fighting all the time? It's like when you watch Prime Minister's Question Time, it's like kids being in the playground. Like, what the hell are you even on? It's crazy how these people are in power. Like, we could do a better job as a community. The Acts on This community. Do you not reckon we could run the country better? Seriously, not even joking. In all seriousness, we could probably run the country better than the current the current people are. It all seems just a little bit crazy. Alex says, I don't care who people vote for as long as it's not Tory. Honestly, I just think there's good and bad in all parties. There has to be some good somewhere in the current party that's in charge, because I mean, they've not really shown it yet. But there you go, Ross for Prime Minister. I'd do it. And all I'd do is I'd just surround myself with the best people in the real knowledgeable people, not the politicians. I'd take people from the Bank of England and go, right, what's going on here? How can I make the economy better? Like, and just get really good opinions from everybody rather than just thinking I can do better just by making it up, because that's what happens a lot of the time. Maya, basically the same as the cataracts operation, but I won't need contact lenses or my jar jam bottom size glasses anymore. Mega myopic, very short sighted, -10. Wow, okay. I used to be really long sighted. I used to be a +7.5. Now I'm a -2.5 after my cataracts operation, so I can still use the computer without glasses or contact lenses. So that's pretty cool. Don't have anything in now, but I need contact lenses to go out in. Otherwise, I cannot see anything. Right, what have we got now? So we've got 9 minutes left. What have we not covered? So basically, actonthis.tv/trial. If you're not a member of Acts on This yet and you want to try the site out for 7 days for £1, I think someone's just done that, by the way. I don't know if you're here live, but a little shout out to Georgina Howes. Georgina, thanks for grabbing your £1 trial to the website. Appreciate that. So you get 7 days unfiltered access basically to everything. You get 400 hours worth of replays in the members area, plus live calls every single week. You get the podcast tomorrow. It's all going down. So try that out. actonthis.tv/trial. If you want to join us for the free mindset coaching session that's happening on the 29th of October, that's actonthis.tv/mindset. And if you want to get involved in the massive 2-day, high performance positive psychology weekend for actors, really getting on top of your psychology and your mental game and your confidence and crushing procrastination, crushing anxiety, you want to get involved in that in November, bulletproofactor.com to get your ticket for that event. It's on Zoom. You can attend from anywhere in the world, and it's all recorded. So if you can't make a day or, half a day or whatever, it's all recorded. You get access to it for life. So that's bulletproofactor.com. So I've given all that away. I've shown you the schedule for this week. So Jill Trevellick is up next. She's the casting director for Downton Abbey. She's up next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. For those people who are interested in the shows like Downton Abbey that Jill casts, get involved in that. So we'll do a little bit. I mean, I've got 7 minutes. Let's do some Q&A. Let's just throw it open on Facebook. Let us know what do you want to talk about. Have you got any questions? Anything happening this week? Auditions you got to get prepared for, or do you need any advice on agents or showreels or headshots or I don't know, audition practice, being on set, anything at all? Let me know, and I'll put you in. I'll send you to some Acts on This features that I think would really help you. So let me know. And Tyler, how you doing, mate? It says happy birthday, happy 50th birthday to Emmerdale. Yeah, I didn't see it. It was the big event on Emmerdale last night, the 50th anniversary. The big disaster. Was it like a storm or something like that? Anyone watch it? What do you think of it? I didn't see it. Was it good? Anybody? Any amazing standout performances? Was anyone in it? I mean, let us know. That'd be amazing if you were in the 50th episode. Let me know in the comments, even if you watch on the replay. Would love to know. Joe says voiceover. So Joe, so you're saying, so you've sent your voice reel that you made to the voiceover gallery. You've not heard anything back. The voiceover gallery is an incredible voiceover agency. They're actually my agents as well. There's a session on atsonthis.tv in the members area with with Lizzie and Alex, the two agents at the voiceover gallery. If you want to get into voiceover, you should definitely go and watch that session, folks. We literally walk you through everything from creating a voice reel to getting seen by agents, landing work, what you can make out of the voiceover industry, why you want to get involved in it. It's changed my life. It's an incredible industry. But Joe, yeah, you're saying while you're waiting, if there's other things you can be doing, I mean, it's entirely up to you. There's loads of ways you can go in voiceover. You can go completely freelance and you can set up a home studio, and then you can get on websites like Voices123, on Mandy.com, on Badalgo. There's quite a lot of websites where you can literally pitch for voiceover work yourself. You have your demo on there. Loads, like hundreds of clients around the world will put up jobs on there saying, listen, I need a female voice, a male voice, whatever it would be for this job, bit of description about it, and then you can record a custom demo, submit it to them, and then you might get chosen. The fees will vary on those websites, but it's a really good way if you are prepared to sit at a computer all day, because that's what it requires initially, and then, submit yourself. I know people literally who do that as a full-time job and earn really, really well out of it. So that's something you can definitely look at. So going freelance completely, or there are so many other voiceover agents that you can get in touch with inside and out of London. I think you're down south, so you would definitely want to, get in touch with the voiceover agents that are in London. I would do a Google on those voiceover agents London. I would check. I know you're a member of gravyforthebrain.com, so I'm sure they will probably have a database of agents in London. They also have forums on gravyforthebrain.com where you could ask people which agents they're with and who they would recommend. There's loads and loads and loads of stuff you could be doing in the meantime, and you never know. The voiceover gallery might just get back to you out of the blue. But I would definitely look at still being proactive while you're waiting. Caroline says, I've just moved over from Australia. I'm an agent there, but not here, and I'm not on Spotlight yet. Is it possible to get an agent here? Yeah, without Spotlight, yeah, 100%. Honestly, in Caroline, the Spotlight have just reduced their joining criteria. I'm guessing because, Spotlight was taken over recently by a big American company. It used to be a family-run organization. And I'm guessing just in the current, financial climate, they're looking for more cash flow. So they've reduced, it's good for actors, really. They've reduced the joining criteria from 4 professional credits to just 2. So you could get, if you hustle, listen to every casting director on atsonthis.tv, go in to the members area. Let me just show you what I would be doing if I was you. I'd go over to atsonthis.tv, jump into the members area here, click into your premium membership, which is this purple product here, and then just scroll down to features with agents here. And then also what I would do, there's the first 10 here, featured with agents, Caroline, but you can click this show more link here, and you'll see that actually is another page. There's like 20 or so sessions with some of the best agents in the UK industry, full stop. Lots of them are prepared to take on clients who are not on Spotlight yet. They'll help you get on Spotlight, particularly if you have a niche. If you're Australian, there's not many, Australian actresses that I know over in the UK right now. So make sure when you're emailing casting directors and agents, you're putting in the subject line Australian actress. So if you're emailing agents, Australian actress, any other USP you have, seeking representation, something like that, so that they can see straight away. That will make them open the email. But then I dive into these sessions with casting directors, and these are all absolutely open to hearing from actors who are not with, agents or on Spotlight. If you, really have your stuff together, so you've got a banging headshot, you've really, got a decent showreel you feel does you justice. If you want to learn about how to create an amazing showreel, we do these showreel surgery sessions every quarter with, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK, Mr. Chris Stone. Watch one of those. We'll give you a formula basically of 8 points you should put in your reel to make it absolutely pop. Once you're happy with your reel, get it off to these casting directors. If you can get those 2 credits on your own, which so many people in our community do, they get the first TV jobs on their own, first couple, then it's going to be a walk in the park getting an agent, because you're going to them already, basically commercially viable. It's a business, so agents want to make money. Of course they do. They need clients working. And if you can say, listen, without an agent, I've still got this stuff myself. I just landed a role on Casualty because I reached out to Roland Beckley after watching the session with him. You'll make headway fast. Again, it comes down to the hustle though, and how much work you're prepared to put in. You cannot just sit there and wait. Like, no one's going to come and save you. It sounds harsh, but it's just true. You have to do it. But yeah, honestly, don't let limiting beliefs around spotlight and not having an agent stop you. You are in a bit of a unique niche because you're Australian, so use that to your advantage, 100%. Right, we've got 1 minute left, folks. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Everyone who joins me on a Monday night really always means the world. I know you could be watching so many other things rather than being here, but keep an eye out for that podcast that I'm going to drop tomorrow morning. If you're a member of actonthis.tv, it'll be in your members area at 10 a.m. Tweet me at actonthistv, at Ross A. Grant. Let me know what your major takeaway is from that podcast. Let me know if you agree with me as well. And if you don't agree with some of the things that I say in there, let me know. Let's have a conversation about certain stuff. Like I say, the worst thing we can do as people, as actors, as human beings, is just block and mute people who don't have the exact same opinions as us. Because I think as well, it just leads to like a self-righteousness. Because if everyone on Twitter, you're blocking anyone on Twitter or social media who doesn't agree with you, you surround yourself by hundreds of people who have the exact same opinion of you. Always just revalidates you time and time again that, yep, you're definitely right, and then you walk around like you know it all. It's like, it's just not the case. Be prepared to be educated by people in this industry. There's no one way to do anything. There's no one way to solve a problem. No one is ever 100% right or 100% wrong unless you're like doing something heinous. I'm not talking about doing like actual bad things. But I think the more we can listen to each other, just the better, basically. And sometimes it is better to listen than it is to speak, but never feel pressured on social media to have to tweet about stuff because you feel you should. There's a lot of that pressure going on. I've had some people previously when there's been, social injustices and stuff that I know nothing about and I'm teaching and learning about, I'm teaching myself about. People have reached out to me and said, why are you not using your platform to tweet about this? Well, because I'm not qualified to tweet about it. I don't know enough about it. So what I do is I bring people on actonthis.tv as guests who are really qualified to talk about it. I can't talk about, trans rights from a remotely knowledgeable place. So a tweet that I could put out on Twitter about it is going to add so little value to the conversation. But if I bring someone on like Annie Wallace, brilliant actress, great trans actress, was one of the first trans actresses to play a trans character on TV in Hollyoaks. She plays Sally St. Clair, incredible actress. I went to drama school with Annie. She was in the year above me. If I bring her on Acts on This, give her my platform, then she can talk about it from a far more educated, impactful place than I can. So never feel pressured by anybody to say something for the sake of saying it. Like sometimes it is better to listen and educate yourself before you say anything. I'm a big advocate for that as well. And as an actors, the best actors that I know, when you watch them in a scene, what are they doing more than speaking? They are listening to the other person. They're not waiting for their cue, going, it's my line. When he says the word car, it's my line. No, they are listening intently to the words coming out of the person's mouth who's in the scene with them. And they are responding based on listening, not just waiting to speak. I can't wait to get my line out. I've got to speak. No, they're listening intently. And that's what makes a brilliant actor. You can see it in their eyes. When you watch an actor on a self-tape or on TV and they're not truly listening, their eyes look glazed over. They're just there. They're feeling wooden. Their hands are like blocks of wood. They don't really know what to do in the scene and they're just stood there like rabbit in the headlights. There's actors who really put in those nuanced, subtle, impactful performances are still and they're listening. Watch people, period drama is brilliant for this. Watch people like Hugh Bonneville in Downton Abbey. Watch how little that guy moves, but how much he says just with his eyes. Incredible. Michael Caine's is saying some great actors who just really have stillness down, nailed, and they listen. It's because they're listening. That's it. It's huge. So listen, both in your work and in your life, and thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, for listening to me. Kelly says this is the best part of a Monday. Thanks, Ross. I love it. Well, cheers, Kelly. Thanks for that, and thanks for being on the Bulletproof Actor weekend as well. I saw you post the postcard. We're sending little postcards out to say thanks for people who are getting places. So let us know if you've got one of those, and do drop me a picture and tweet. I want to know if it's working. We've set up a little system to send those out. So let us know if you're getting those, if you have signed up. Bulletproofactor.com if you want to find out more about that weekend. So I will. What should I do? Let's play this piece out from Tony. Again, for those people who might have missed it before, just about the value of hard work. Tony Schumacher, one of the most hardworking guys in the industry. Like I say, literally went from being homeless to writing one of the best dramas of the last decade. He's now writing the sequel. That was The Responder. He's now writing the sequel, The Responder 2, whatever that will be, starring Martin Freeman. His story's incredible. The full session is on actonthis.tv in the members area right now. go get your membership. That's on this.tv/trial if you just want to kick the tires on the site and check it out for a week for £1. And again, I'll just play this little clip out for those who missed it. It really shows the value of hard work. Like, honestly, you've got to keep getting up and going again and again and again. So thank you so much for being here. Love to you all. Have an amazing week. Listen to that podcast I put out tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Until next time, folks, bye for now. What advice would you have for people for just literally just suffocating their own bullshit?
Procrastination, we all do it, you know. I mean, listen, I got to the office today and I sat in a cafe for like half an hour. Like, but the thing about writing is, or writing an email, or getting an audition, or writing some music is, it isn't gonna fucking happen unless you do it. When I was driving that taxi, if I hadn't sat down that night and wrote my first column for that magazine, I wouldn't be sitting there. And it would have been easy to just sit there, you know, with a bottle of water and a sandwich, just thinking, I could write that one day, I'll do that one day. You've literally got to say, if I want to succeed in this industry, I've got to fail, and I've got to lay myself out there and just be prepared to be flayed alive. It's just simple things like, you know, like people say to me, I'd love to write, but I haven't got time. I used to get in the cab overnight at 5 o'clock in the evening, and I'd go out and I'd drive that taxi till 5 o'clock in the morning. I would get home, I would go to sleep till about 11, 12 o'clock, get up, walk the dog 5 miles, and then go back and write for 3 hours every single day. And that's how I got my first book published. And that's what you've got to do, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You will not get lucky. That's the only way to do it. And if you fail, you've just got to get up and do it again. You've just got to keep getting up and doing it again, because the people who succeed are the ones who keep getting up and doing it again. There's one common thing that runs through everyone who I've worked with who's been super successful, and that is they work harder than anyone else I know. Martin knows every line of every script, and there was a thing that I noticed with watching Martin on set was that he could remind other actors of their lines if they failed.
Right, no way.
And I never once heard him calling for a script. I never once heard him say, can I have a script? Could someone give me a script? He knew every line. We all want to be something, but it's the ones who are obsessed with it who do it.